Okay, yeah. So not at all. That's yeah. Read it straight and give it to them straight. No shape. This is what happened.
100% straight.
Boom, boom. There's no hokey pokey. There's no. I believe.
Right. I hate that.
I believe there's no definitely like because no, it's there.
Everything's sacred and holy. Would you please shut your yapper?
Don't hold back how you feel. Welcome to the platform for the misunderstood and creatives alike. So roll a joint and pour a shot. You're listening to the Dash It Out podcast, the show that brings your after hours talk to daytime. No wrong opinions and all unfiltered. With your host, Vic Thor.
Welcome to another episode of the Dash It Out Show, Season 3, as you all know. And today's going to be a very special new episode for us all, okay? Today, we are joined by Myrna Lou Goldbaum, who has been for 70 plus years. She's a Master Palmist and a published author. Won first and second place in National Writing Contest at the Colorado Independent Publishers Association. Hosted and produced her own television show, Soulmate Connection. Her work includes the following books: May I See Your Hand? Palm Reading for Fun and Profit, Soulmate Connection, Palm Reading Sessions from 1956 to 2003, and also The Other Side, a metaphysical journey, a paranormal novel. With an accuracy rate of 90 to 95% in every reading today, she has read poems for people in 94 countries, and she is here with us today on the Dash Show. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Myrna, can you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit more about yourself, what it is that you do?
Okay, well, thank you for having me first. I've been doing this for so long as second nature, but I learned when I was 10 years old from a library book. Now I teach it. I'm still teaching at the age of 85 because I like what I do. And if you enjoy what you do, you keep doing it.
Exactly.
Right?
It comes so much more. I've definitely known a little bit about pharmacy myself, because as you said, like you went to the library, you learned, and it was definitely intriguing. It was definitely intriguing. I would say, from my point of view, it was more just those more stuff based than anything. So I just want to ask you,
It is.
is pharmacy definitely fine?
Well, astrology, numerology.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Palmistry, astrology, and numerology are all science.
Perfect.
They are scientific.
Interesting. So where did that line fall from science to metaphysics?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of different kinds. There's a lot of kinds of palmistry.
Right.
So the one everybody knows is Hindu Indian, and it's very complicated. The one I do is Oriental, comes from China. It's much easier to read. And then there's Mediterranean, Grecian, all different kinds. I have to get a drink.
Oh, no, you're good.
1 second. So the reason it's metaphysical is when you touch a person or look at the lines on the hand, you can find out all about that person. So it's personal, plus it's scientific.
Yeah.
So I do it on the internet and in person.
Interesting. So did I read that you have seen over 59,000 hands?
I'm almost at 60. Yeah.
60,000
I'm at 59,990. That's a lot of reading. That's why my voice is where it is. I wore it out over the years. But today I have a frog of all the stupid times they have it. So I love it.
I mean, that's the thing.
I love talking, so it's real easy to talk to people.
Yeah.
They have to have a back and forth. So if I say to somebody, so I see your name is Sue, and they go like that, that's no good. It has to be where the person speaks back, right. Where I have something to work with.
So is there like some form of happy nature that goes into reading? Because I know, like you said, that it's personal, very personal. You get someone's hands, you someone's palm, and seeing their life pretty much before your eyes. And is it like an inherent nature to understand, okay, well, I can see you have some hardships. I can see where you met the love of your life. I can see where you can have an improvement. I can see where you improved that. So it's a lot. It's not like an entity that's something delivering.
The thing is, when I look in a hand, if it's on the internet, I can't touch a person, but I can read the lines.
Mm.
And the lines tell a story from the day you were born. So the hand is this big when you're a newborn baby, right? A little tiny hand. It has lines on it. And I can read a 1-day-old baby. So then the baby grows up, has experiences, and they show up on the hand. So anything that impacts the brain is going to impact your hand.
Oh.
So if a person has graduation from high school, it shows. They have a divorce, it shows. If they're buying a new house, but they're all anxious, they don't know if it's the right one or not. It's going to, all that's on there. So when somebody comes to me or they email me, they want to know now what's going on, not what happened way back then, because they know their history. And so I can see it, but we don't waste time on that. Then they want to know what's the future. So I'm not a predictor. I don't predict. I go by the lines, and the lines show what's coming, where you are now, and what you need to do to make it happen.
Okay, yeah. So you're not
So-
with all that. Yeah, you read it straight and give it to them straight, no chaser. Like this is what happened. Boom,
100% straight.
happened, boom, boom. There's no hokey pokey. There's no I believe.
Right, I hate that.
I believe. There's no guessing. Like because no, it's there.
I hate that hocus pocus stuff. I don't like when somebody says, you will meet a tall, dark stranger.
Yeah, like
That's not what I do.
no. It's pretty much that our hands is like a blueprint. Like a blueprint of our
They want to know, they want to know instantly what's going on. So sometimes I'm not perfect on the timing. I could be off by a month or 2 months or a year. So I might say to somebody, it looks like you come from longevity and your relatives all lived into the 90s. And they say, yes, that's correct. So then I say, okay, you have the opportunity of doing that because it's your gene pool. You come from strong people. If people all died young, maybe that person is different than them, or they got their genes. So maybe if they watch what they eat, they exercise, they take care of business, your own health, you could go way longer. So people like you who are under the age of 50 will probably live to 120 to 130. And that's because of science and medical stuff and new things coming in, technology, right?
Yeah. Okay,
So when if you were my age, you'd be running around in a little red convertible, 4 feet off the ground, and you're 120.
that would be
Made you laugh.
That would be that place. That's close to the dream. Wisdom, live, and just live a life. I mean, if you like, if in days like you just won't be able to tell what to do, like you not know what to do. That seems really the victory of
Right.
life, So let's get to the nitty-gritty.
Well,
Let's get a little into it. Okay. You guys know. So let's
Okay.
get to the nitty-gritty.
right now.
Later this second. So, what was the first reading to assign? Where? And if you remember who, please stop.
Okay. Well, without saying a person's name, because that would be giving it away, I did one of our ex-presidents. That's about the best one I ever did. And he was a skeptic, and he sat down and said, I don't believe in this stuff. I don't know why I'm in your line. And I was working at a benefit in Colorado, and this particular person had 4 Secret Service with him. And he got in my line, and I was busy doing this and reading people, and I didn't look up. And then I saw who it was, and he sat down, and he says, if you don't tell me something that only I know and nobody else knows, I'm going to say you're a fake and go down and tell everybody downstairs. And he was a keynote speaker there, too. I'm going to tell everyone you're a big faker. Don't get in your line. So I said, okay. So I told him something that only he knew, and he jumped up and yelled, I'm a believer.
Oh, for real? Oh, my goodness. So you said ex-president.
That's my best one.
But can you promise a year? I'm assuming it's an election.
He's an ex-president. How many ex-presidents lived in Colorado? That should be a good hint.
Okay, y'all. Okay, mine is definitely gonna make this work. Okay, definitely gonna make this work for. But it's cool. Everyone do the research. Okay, everyone do the research, and then maybe we can come to a conclusion, and we can all figure out who that president was. Okay. Okay. That's a very interesting story.
Well, but he was a skeptic, and I turned him
A
around.
believer.
That's what I was showing you.
Interesting.
And that was the most interesting one. But I've done murderers, kidnappers, embezzlers, UFO people.
Wow, what do I?
I've done them all. You want to hear about that?
Yes. What do a murder?
Well, I did.
Curious to know. Try to get.
It just shows they have no scruples and they don't care about law and order, and they do whatever they want. But the thing was, the first one, I was at a fair in Denver, Colorado, and a guy sat down and I said, I see you broke the law. And he says, want to see my ankle bracelet? So I looked down there and I saw it. And he says, I killed a guy. And I thought, oh, I'm in the fair with all these people. Thank God I'm not alone. And he says, well, I played chicken. Two cars drive at each other and nobody gives up, and it caused a head-on collision and it killed him. So that's a killer, but it's not pulling a gun on somebody.
Yeah.
So then the second one, the next one was in a big fair in Colorado Springs, which is another town. And I was doing this big fair, and this guy said, do you want to see my ankle bracelet? So he showed me, and I said, okay, what did you do? He said, well, I beat a guy up and he died. He got in a coma and they never woke him up. So I had to go to jail. So that's those two. So luckily it wasn't somebody who actually went up and murdered somebody.
Yeah, it was all, pretty much fatal.
But it still was creepy.
Yeah.
I thought that was creepy. But then I get UFO people who say, can you give me a really fast reading at a fair? And I'll go, well, no, we do it the normal 15, 20 minutes. Said, no, the mothership's circling the building. They want to take me to my new planet. That's a little creepy.
Yeah, but it's a little scary. They wanted a quick reading so they can hop on the mothership. So I'm like, that's weird.
Well, but that guy was Lulu. He was a little bit of a Looney Tune.
Okay. So you have your strong conspiracy theories, and then you also have those type of conspiracy theories. The one with the metal.
Well, I do.
Metal helmet, stay indoors, only come on at night to watch the stars. Get the shout out to the mothership. Please beam me up, Scotty.
Right, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Dude.
Well, to me, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's not realistic. So I think of that as, I think that's a little creepy.
Yeah.
So, and then the next thing was, I do people who want to know what's going on right now. And I say, well, I'm not perfect on the timing. Like when I was in high school, the boys would say, are we going to win the football game? Well, it's not on there. So I say, let me see, because I got a lot of dates that way. But the football game is incidental. That's not on there unless they were going to get hurt. Then it would show they're going to the hospital. Okay. So when they want now, they want to know like in a time frame from today and maybe a week from now or a month from now. And that's what I'm pretty good on that. So I get 90 to 95% right. It's pretty good.
To look as far as someone's timeline on their part.
Right. I can look far out or I can look out what they want to know. So I say to somebody, I see you have two issues. And they say, yes, I do. And I say, well, one is your work or your job. You really hate who you work with, but you have to be there till you have a different job. They go, how'd you know that? Well, that's what psychic is. So that I use the psychic ability plus palm reading, the lines, and I blend them together. And that's how I get my answers. So then I'll say, and the other thing is relationship. She'll say, I don't have one. I say, that's the issue. You want somebody in your life just like you. You don't want an opposite. You've been married 3 times. Say, no, I've never been married. And I catch them on it and show them on their hand. And they say, well, I lied. Yeah, I've been married 3 times. How you like that?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Better. So
yeah,
we're going to go ahead and speak about your book. May I see your hand? Tell the audience about what they can get from this read and how can it help them maybe read their poem.
Okay, that book is the first one I wrote, and I wrote it in 1 hour. You can't write a book in an hour, but it was channeled. That means it came straight from God through my head, and I wrote it longhand. So in 1 hour,
psychic writing, then you let it spirit them and you just write it. I think it's called like psychic writing. Oh, drawing. I think it's drawing. You draw and you let that spirit work to you. And you God, stage you, spirit, ancestors, whatever you call it. They just kind of go with the flow. I think honestly,
well,
do nowadays anyway. Some call it abstract, some call it things actually you can't call it. You just go.
Well, no, it isn't abstract. It's definitely there. It's not abstract. So it means, well, I'm creative in how I say things because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Oh, no,
but sometimes they need to go to the doctor.
But speak your mind, speak your truth, This is a show that you won't hurt nobody's feelings here. So may I see your hand written within an hour, channel higher scores. And this is the first book you've written. What are some key takeaways from this book that would be beneficial for someone who don't know much about people? Period.
Okay, the key takeaway here. Oops. Here's the book. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So the key takeaway would be a person could teach themselves right from this book, because I teach out of that book. Each line in here is illustrated on a different page. And then I have the explanation about it. So when I teach a class, a person has to buy that book because it's like their encyclopedia. And if they get stuck, they can look something up. So while I'm teaching it, they're making notes the whole time and all the margins and all over. And then they're in the book. So I have everybody write their name and the date across the top of it inside. And now they're in their book. So the key takeaway is, if you want to learn an easy way, and my classes run 2 hours, that's all. You can get it in 2 hours. If you read it yourself, you might get it in 1 hour, because I have questions people ask me. I do 10 at a time. And when I have over 3,000 something people I've taught already. And so I don't mind teaching it because I want to share what I know. And I think there's enough places for us all to work. They don't have to all worry about they're taking my job away.
Mm-hmm.
And at this age, I should be retired, but I don't want to give it up.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lifestyle, right? I mean, at some point in time,
Well, I think when I was 10, it did this to me. It just called me, and I've been doing it ever since. So my sister was number one. She was 6 years old, and I learned on her hand. And to this day, and she's 80 now, she walks like that with her hands behind her, so I won't look. But I memorized every hand I ever do.
Ooh.
So I know her hand by heart.
Wow.
But I went to my 45th high school reunion, and everybody threw their hand out in front of me, and I caught up on them.
Yeah.
I told them what happened from the time they were 18.
Nice. Where are you located?
Yeah.
Where are you located?
I live in Venice, Florida.
Okay.
And I do the readings out of my house, either on the computer or in person. It's between Tampa and Fort Myers, and people come from all over. Some people even drive from Miami, but it's 3 hours away. So we're on the west coast of Florida.
Nice. And like, so you pretty much like, you're good. You're a known celebrity in Venice, Florida. Like, your classmates, friends, family, everyone knows about your work.
Well, a lot of people are here. Well, but a lot of people are here on vacation, and they know they've heard about me. So then they want to run in on their one day of their vacation. It only takes an hour. So they go, I need to get this. So then I do them, and they go back home after the vacation's over. But then they might send me 3 references, because everybody who walks out of here that I read in person gives me a big hug, and not one person said they didn't like it. You know, and if I had somebody who said, well, that wasn't anything, I would be very upset, because it's very intense. It's about I don't lie. I tell the truth.
Yes.
So if I see somebody needs to go to the hospital because they get up 5 times a night to go to the bathroom, I say, I think you need a little checkup. And I don't say, oh, I see something terrible. I just send them to the doctor. Okay. So I've saved a few lives.
Exactly. On this, that's a gift. Can withhold in empathy, especially if you see it. It's like you see something, say something. It's like you
That's right. That's what happens. That's what I do.
You see like a little kid running across the street to grab a ball. Coming down the street, they don't see the kid, but you see the kid. If you don't say nothing or do nothing,
Well,
it would be on you, you know? So, you haven't been able to
get away. Well, here's the thing. Some people say, am I going to win the lottery? Well, that's not on your hand. It's not about games of chance. It's about how hard you work at something to make it happen. So I wanted my own TV show. It takes thousands of hours to put one together. 1 hour takes 8 hours of hard work to get 1 hour of a show. So I did it because I wanted to. And I named it the same thing as what my second book, which was called Soulmate Connections. Because almost everybody I talk to wants to know, am I with my soulmate? We're miserable. We're soulmates. Why are we at each other's throat all the time? Or where's my soulmate? When are they coming in? So all those questions had to do with soulmate. And that's why I became the soulmate specialist. So the men usually want to know about finances. The women want to know about love, but everybody wants a partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And we social creatures, and we definitely want to find a significant other, be involved, to have a lifelong partner. On the other hand, when I settle down myself, I am done being a hoe because I'm in my 20s and things like a Pringle. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm originally from DC and I'm looking talking and feel this text feed on that. Just thinking about that, meet that Pringle, you have a great time, kick back and all that good stuff, and it turned into the a one night stand. The one night stand is essential thing, benefits, benefits. Yeah, just potential benefits or what they consider comfort. Yeah, I would like to put something a little bit more tangible.
You just stuck your hand up. I saw your hand. Okay, let me see it.
Definitely gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid.
Well, wait a minute. So here's what I do to everybody. You have to fold your hands up. So put your hands together and fold them.
Okay, well,
just like
you
this.
read it now? Okay, you gotta go ahead and read it. Okay.
Fold your hands and tell me. Go ahead, do it. And okay, come down. Is your thumb on the left or right side on top? Which one is on top?
The right side.
The right side?
Yeah.
The right thumb on top means you're normal. Mine is the left on top, which means I'm different than you because I'm right-handed, but my mother switched me. So I came in as a left-handed baby. You came in as a right. You've always been a right. That means your feet are on the ground. Okay, you cannot put them down. Put them down. Put your hands down. Okay, so that means that you're normal, and I can read your hand real easy. To people like me, it's a little more complicated because it's a left and a right brain. The brain is what I'm really reading. So now put your hand like this so I can see your lines. So the lifeline says you come from strong people who are fighters and survivors. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or your people are fighters?
Yeah.
They stand up for themselves. Okay. Then it says your IQ is pretty high, and that's a good thing. Then it says that when you were first a newborn baby until you were about 2 or 3, there's a lot of ear, nose, and throat stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you even remember hearing about that.
I know, my
so you might have got your tonsils out. Then the love line. Okay, how old are you today?
28.
Okay, so the love line says if you're with somebody, great, but it looks like it's coming in. You haven't found that person yet. Is that true?
That's what we got.
Okay, and it says that when you make a connection, the reason you haven't so far is you're very picky and you want what you want.
I'm a Virgo.
And you're holding out.
I'm a Virgo. This is what we do.
I'm a Scorpio. Right. And it just says you have a criteria list in your head, what you want. And this says you're going to get it, but it hasn't happened yet. So the average age of most women now is 27, 28, and most men are 30 when they get married. So put your hand down. I got it. You can put your hand down. Okay. So what month is your birthday?
9 September.
Hello?
September.
Okay. So you're right before Libra.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So September birthday people are they like to read, they like to pay attention, they love their home. Is that true?
Cool. You
like your house? You like to read?
Yeah.
Says you want to learn something every single day.
Yeah.
That's what your hand said. Then it says that you're curious, you want to explore things and figure stuff out. You're experimenting all the time. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's your lifeline. Okay, the work line says you've done a lot of different things in your life, and you even said that, and that you haven't found your real niche yet. And the niche would be the thing that you stay at for many, many years and never leave it. So it could be this, or it could be you're going to write, or it could be something totally different, but it says you're still trying to find it. So you're looking for what is it that's going to turn your heart into gold and make you feel 10 feet tall. And so everybody wants to feel 10 feet,
Yeah.
I'm as tall as I'm going to get. If I'm not good now, I'm not going to be good. But I'm 10 feet. I think I'm 10 feet tall.
I mean, that's a good feeling.
So I try not to hurt people's feelings. So yesterday I did a guy's hand, a woman's hand, who called me up and she said, "You were at a fair and I came to you with tears in my eyes because my husband had a reading with somebody else and they told me he's going to die and I can't get it out of my head." So the husband was here with her. So I said, "Come here." And he gave me his hand and I showed him, and I'm going to show you. You're born right here on the baby finger side. Look at your hand. You'll see it. You're born on the baby finger side. It goes across sort of towards the middle finger to about here, right? You see that line?
Yeah.
Here, if I do this, you could see mine. Okay, so I showed him how I counted, and when I counted it for him, they both felt better. So it goes 20, 20, 20. How much is that? How much is 20, 20, 20? Okay, add 10, 60, 10, 70, 10, 80, and his goes 92. Most men don't see 92. Yours is that 120 to 130. Right, it's under the fingers. It's the one closest to the fingers, but down about an inch. Starts on the baby finger side and goes across.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So,
It's kind of weird. It's like a little, I don't know, it's like
do you see a fork at the end of it? The fork is your IQ.
Oh, yeah.
So, here, I have a diagram here. This will maybe make it better. Can you see this? This is the line we're talking about, right? That line right there.
Got you.
Up there. The little fork is the IQ.
Oh.
The love line is this one. So the love line looks like a V, two people who tie the knot right here, and they become one. That's what they say. So two people find each other, they click, it works, then they become one. They become a union of one. And it could be two women. That doesn't mean they're gay. It just means two women clicked.
Yeah.
So we have all different kinds of soulmates and soul groups. And so I happened to get my soulmate this time, got my husband, but this is my third one. So the first one died after 20 years. Second one was 13. And this is the one now. I don't know if you could see. Can you see that? So I got, yeah, it's a pretty good picture. I like how I look in that picture, so that's why I keep it. But anyway, I got the soulmate this time. So my mother always said to me, "You're going to get somebody just as stubborn as you are and just as nasty and aggravating." And I got it. He's identical.
Right.
It's the exact same personality.
Right.
We have the same personality. So that's what a like is. So likes attract, opposites attract. Opposites attract, and it starts getting further and further apart. Likes attract, and they march through life together on the same path.
Interesting.
So I call it a ski path or a train line. You know, it's a path. Two people become one.
You know, the possibility of maybe in my soulmate is going to be someone who have a crazy list in their head and standards that they want me, and I want them to, and we both kind of figuring out exactly. I don't know. That'll be a big challenge.
Okay, I'll help you out. It means you think alike, act alike, react alike. You hate and love the same things. So you both love a certain kind of music or certain food or certain movies. You laugh at the same jokes. So it's like talking to yourself or hugging yourself, but you're hugging the other person.
Like
That's what it is. But it means you knew them before in a past life back there. Because we all have past lives. So if a person had 9 past lives, they have 9 chances to find one.
Right.
I had 1 past life. I was a male last time because your sex changes each time. And I was a male palm reader. So that's why when I was 10 and my mother gave me the library book, I went right to it. Right. Because it was my calling. Okay.
Well, Myrna, this has definitely been an amazing experience. Learned a lot. I hope everyone else learned a lot as well. Myrna Lou Goldbaum, thank you so much for coming on the Dash Out Show. This concludes this episode. All the links and all the information will be listed in the description, but just for future reference, can you please tell the listeners where they can find your work?
Thank you. Yeah, my work is important to me. I do promise a 3-day turnaround when people send me their hand. If they look up my website, which is www.myrnalou and spelled RNALOU.com. It's all one word. It's like Mary Lou, only it's Myrna Lou. It shows on there how to get a palm reading if they want one.
Nice. So once again, all the information will be linked in the description below, either at the bottom of the screen or to the left, right. I don't know if it's always changing these days, but all this information, detailed information, as well as may I see your hands, so make connections, reading sessions, and cruise to the other side. Once again, Myrna Lou, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you. I'm kind of like still exuberated. I feel enthusiastic. You know, it's fine.
Well, you're going to be.
Yeah, you know, definitely it's intriguing. It's really ironic. It's like it's so many things I'm doing. I gotta like find my niche or find my what makes me feel like 10 feet tall, and it's really good. Like, keep this just for like memories of me, my CDs. Like in 2017. So I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, engineer. I'm also a writer. I'm still an artist. I still draw. I still host. Of course, you know, I'm a podcaster as well. Yeah, I kind of get into all types of stuff. I'm doing interior design. Right now, I work as a consultant. I do so many things.
So all the streams of things that you do, all different kinds of things.
Yeah,
that's what your hand said.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. I know my big three. I know people was like, oh, you have a big three. I know my big three is Virgo's sun, Aries moon, and Gemini. So I don't know if that kind of plays into like the whole aspect of it.
A little bit.
It does, right?
It does a little bit. But everybody is 9 months older than they think they are. That's why I asked you when your birthday was.
Oh.
So in September, when you turned 28, 3 months later, you were 29.
Oh.
So this year, September's coming, right?
Yeah.
But your brain has been 29 years old for a long time. So when you turn 29 by the calendar, 3 months later, you're going to be 30.
Nice.
So by the calendar, I'm 84, but I was born in November. So you go November, December, January, and February, I turned 85. Get it?
Got you.
Yeah,
okay,
I hate that.
Yeah, amazing. You said November, early November.
What was the question?
I said, you said November, you born in November, so are you early November?
Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio?
Yeah, November. So you go November, December, January, February. In February on the 10th, which is the same day as my birthday would have been, I became the next number.
Okay. And you're a Scorpio, I'm assuming.
So, yeah, right. So that's the most intense sign there is.
It really is. That's the most intense sign. All my best friends are Scorpios. I love y'all. Y'all actually have the innate ability for the mystic and for, you know, just reading.
Well, you gravitate that way.
Yeah, amazing.
That's right.
You know, Scorpio, you know, be like this, be like, to get each other. Yeah, this is still one of the reasons why I don't want to let you go, but I'm going to go ahead and close this again. Okay, everyone. Everyone give a nice round of applause for my amazing guest, our amazing co-host, Myrna Lou Goldbaum. It's been a pleasure, and this concludes this episode.
Thank you so much.